Welcome to another video from DIY Daily. Just put together a quick video, just running you through the fix for a really common issue. This issue is really common across the Citroen Peugeot range. What we're actually doing it on today is a 2014 Citroen DS4. It's a really common issue. If you've got this fault code and this message that's coming up on any Peugeot or Citroen, it's likely to be relating to the same fault. We have done a full code scan with a top-down diagnostic machine. I diagnosed this fault last week and I've ordered the item that we're going to need to fix the job. We'll run you through that again in a minute as well, but I'll just show you what the actual fault is. So if we just turn it off and just start it up, you'll just see we've got this little message on the dash just saying electrical, let's try to focus on that, electrical circuit fault, have the vehicle repaired. And that does go out once you're driving, but the service message there just stays on the dash as well. But yeah, all we're going to do, just going to show you now, we've done a full code scan already. It's just code reading these Citroens does take quite a while. It's a bit of a slow code read because as you're code reading it, you need to turn the ignition off, then back on, and just run through it. They just seem to take ages on some of these Citroen, that's all. But if we just show you now, just put the ignition back on. The fault code that we've got, that we're mainly concentrating, we've got in the Supplies Protection and Management ECU, B1624 Supplies Protection and Management Unit, Central Power Switch Positive Relay Status fault. And you can also see in the body BSI as well, we've got the same code again there, obviously the same description. But we've also got, it's not actually come into, I've just attempted to clear the fault codes. It is permanent, it won't clear some of these, but there was actually earlier on, or last week when we did actually originally code read it, there was a U code, which is communication code, which was also relating to communication with the Supplies and Protection and Management Unit as well. We'll just show you quickly, the ignition's on now though. If we just attempt to clear the fault codes, it should be permanent and it shouldn't allow us to clear the fault codes. Let's just give it a go anyway. We're using the top-down Phoenix Lite 3 today. If you're interested in this unit, it's a really good unit. I've been using this for a while now, and I'm actually a distributor for top-down, so if you want to check it out, I'll put a link to my store and where you can get them from as well. But yeah, it's been a really good bit of kit. I have done a few little videos on it as well that you might want to check out on the channel. As you can just see there, it's just carried out the code clear, but it's still permanent code. It won't allow us to clear that. Same in the BSI there as well. So just put that down a minute and just show you what the actual faulty item is. Now I've had to order one of these off the internet. I'll put a link to it in the description below where you can get it from. They are genuine only unit, but I did actually get this one off eBay. It's about 360 quid plus VAT off the dealer, but there was on back order and I managed to get the part number and find one on eBay, and I'll put a link to that in the description below as well if you want to check it out. But just make sure that yours is the exact same part number. It's just depending on what model you're fitting it on, there are quite a lot of different choices as well. But yeah, the part number on this one, you can just see it on the back there. But yeah, I'll put a link in the description below anyway. But basically, it's like the fuse board that sits on top of the battery. Now the main sort of area where they fail is in like this relay piece, I believe, that causes the issue. So, but it is actually a double-sided unit. You just turn it over, this little cover on the back slides down, and there are some fuses on the back there as well. So, but yeah, we're just going to get under the bonnet now and just run you through getting this all swapped over. We'll get it all swapped over, then we'll come back in the vehicle, clear all the fault codes. Because it's a permanent code, we'll know straight away whether it's going to fix the fault or not. And we can just run you through just clearing that, just giving it a quick test and just making sure it's okay. Right, so just come under the bonnet. All we've done, just sat the module there. We've got the old module ready to take off there. Just took the cover off so far, but you can just see there is quite a few fuses on there. Now we'll use a little impact driver just to undo them all, but when nipping them all back up, you really want to do them by hand, just with a little ratchet. You don't want to over tighten them and damage the fuses there. You can see most of them are just little 8mm nuts just holding them on there. So but all we're going to do to start with, we're just going to undo the battery connection there, just get that out of the way. You can, if you want, get the airbox out of the way. It might just make it a little bit easier for room. Again, it depends on what model you're doing it on. We've got a 13mm nut that we're going to need to undo there, just to take this connection off and out of the way. And what it's well worth doing as well, because there's quite a few different wires. Once I've just pulled this forward slightly and unclipped it, I'm just going to take a picture of all the wires, just so that I can't get the locations wrong when we're swapping them all over. I'll just concentrate on the top ones to start with. Then we'll flip it over and do the ones on the back as well. And just one thing that we are going to have to take note of, you can just see we've just got a couple of fuses in there as well, which aren't on the new unit, so they're going to need swapping over alongside these wires there. So I'm just going to mount the camera up and we'll just have a go now, getting everything swapped over, and just run you through anything that we need to on the way while we're doing it. Now one thing I did just forget to say about, just on the bottom here as well, you have got this little connector there. You just got to flick the orange tab down and then you can simply just pull the little black tab back there and then just push the connector off, just to get that out of the way. So now they've got it up and out of the way, just sort of show you, it just slides in along that little channel there, just in the middle there. There's just a little clip where it sort of hooks in that side. We've just got to move it into the right position, then you can simply pull it up and you can just see we can pull it forward now, and it gives us a nice bit of access to everything. So we'll just start getting all these wires swapped over now. Right, just see, I've decided it's actually going to be easy to swap the back ones over first, as I could sort of situate it there and just swap everything over. We'll just lightly nip them up, so definitely want to be careful of them. You don't want to be doing them too tight. So all I'm going to do now is just flip it back over and then swap all the top ones over and swap them two little fuse wires over as well. Right, so we've just got all the wires swapped over there now. Just took my time doing it, just making sure we've got them all bang on in the right places. Just give them a nip up. All I'm going to do now is just fit it back into place. Obviously just got to put the connection on back at the front there. Just plug that connector in down there. Once everything's back together and clipped into place, then just put the positive terminal back on. Now if you can reach your negative terminal before you do the job, it's always best to disconnect your negative terminal first really and get that out of the way. But yeah, I'm just going to get this back together now. Once it's back together, we can get back in the vehicle, just code scan it again, just clear all the faults and just make sure it's definitely fixed it. Well yeah, there's the faulty item. You can see you can't really see what goes wrong with them. It doesn't seem to be the corrosion, but they usually fail in this sort of section there. I think the actual relay in it sticks, and sometimes these can cause non-start faults as well. When it's causing a non-start fault, it's normally a bit easier to diagnose because you can check from the voltage between there and on the other side where the voltage comes in, and sometimes you'll see that it's not letting the voltage pass through the unit to stop it starting. But yeah, sometimes it will start and it will run, it just comes up with the electrical fault message on the dash there. But yeah, we'll just crack on, just get all this back into place now. Right, so that's it, it's all fitted now. Top cover's back on, the connector at the bottom there's just clipped into place. Just make sure it has properly clicked home, and once it's secured home you can then just push the little orange tab up to lock it in as well. Obviously the 30mm is back on at the front there, and just put the positive terminal back on as well. So just shut the bonnet now, get back in the vehicle, clear the fault codes and make sure it's fixed the fault. Right, so just got back in the vehicle. Let's just start it up quick. We'll just get the ignition on. It's just gone into economy mode, so I think we'll have to just start it quick just to get it out of that. This Citroens and Peugeot is a bit of a nightmare for economy mode. Just see already, just starting it up, the actual electrical fault message is gone, so we ain't got that on the dash at the minute. But if we just turn it off, just put the ignition back on, we can then carry out a full scan on it. Now obviously, because we've disconnected all them fuses there, it is likely that we're going to put quite a few different fault codes in there. But although we might have got it off the dash, it's always quite important and always nice to go through everything, clear all the fault codes, just be 100% sure that you've definitely not got any faults in there. And it just gives you that peace of mind as well, that if you do clear everything and you know it's nice and clear, once you come back to it next time, if there's another issue, you know that any new fault that you've got is a fresh fault. So I just sped through that. As I said earlier on, quite a long-winded search on these Citroens. There's quite a lot of ECUs to read through. Obviously, I'm not going to go into all these just for now. Let's just have a quick go at clearing them to start with. Just obviously was expecting to put a few faults in there with having all them fuses disconnected. And as I said earlier, it was a permanent fault code. We couldn't clear the fault before, so if we try and do it now, we'll know straight away that it's fixed the fault. Right, so you can just see we've done a full code scan there. Just on, if you just go on there, supply and protection management ECU, see it's nice and clear in there. It was permanent before, so we couldn't clear the fault code, and it looks like we've nearly got a clean bill of health from there. You can just see the only one we're left with a fault with in the display or telematics ECU. We've got a downloading fault, job for another day if they want to look into that. But the main fault that we was obviously looking into was that electrical message on the dash, and it was B1624, I think the fault code was. But yeah, if we just turn it off, just strike it up now. And just see the message is no longer on the dash, so it's definitely fixed the fault. Job done. Nice easy fix really, not too bad to do. Unfortunately the unit's quite expensive, but yeah, that's the only way we was going to get it out. So I hope you liked the video. If you did, give it a quick thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. And if you want to check out one of them units, just check the part number in the link in the description below to where you can get it from. And yeah, if you're interested in the diagnostic machine or any of the top down ranging machines, just check the link to the store in the description as well. If you want to ask me anything about any of them, I'll obviously reply to any comments or questions as well. But yeah, this machine, the Phoenix Lite 3, has been really good for us. It's got loads of functions on it, mega capable of doing loads of jobs. So I can't go into too much detail on that, but I'll put a video up at some point just running you through some of the more detailed things that the machine will do. But yeah, that's it for tonight. Get this back to the customer, job's all done, and get back home. But yeah, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.